Hello everybody, this is Aaron Cain from Cain Motorsports here, and I have something very interesting that I plan on showing you. This is my Bandolero Quick Jack. This is one of my favorite things to use at the track. It lifts the car up, everybody knows about these things. There's one giant problem with the Bandolero Quick Jack. It is obnoxiously large and very hard to store. It's very weird. Okay, it's a weird shape. You can take it apart in the middle, but that's also a pain in the butt, so we just end up leaving it together, and it becomes a problem where it is in fact in the where it's obviously in the in the trailer or whatever. But it's a very great thing. It's probably the best money I spent at INEX. Now, what I like to do for a living is I am a woodworker, and I like to come up with innovative solutions to make things a little bit better for people. And I figured I would take my skills and try and go ahead and do exactly just that. So what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and make something that's going to attach to this Quick Jack that will then allow us to make it a little bit easier in the pits and make it a little bit more versatile and maybe not be so bulky and justify that space. So stick with me on this. Hopefully this turns out good. I have a pretty darn good idea about this. Alright, so here is what I in fact came up with here. I don't have a name for this yet. Maybe you guys can figure out what the name is, but this is going to be a pit cart that is going to go and attach to the actual Quick Jack when it's not being used to jack up the car. And how it's going to work is it's actually going to attach with spots in here. It's going to attach to spots actually cut into the front of this panel here. And it's also going to attach to the Quick Jack with magnets that are, of course, going to line the bottom in this central cavity here. Okay. In order to be able to do this, I had to actually measure some angles and figured out this to be like a 13-degree angle here. But what this is going to work, and this is what's going to be really exciting, is that there's two giant problems. Yeah, usually with kids when they wreck cars. If they wreck a car bad enough, you're never going to get them back out on the track. All you're going to have to do is basically go ahead and you put them in the trailer and you fix it for the next week. However, there's two things. There's two things that we've gone ahead and discovered here that are fairly easy to fix if something happens out on the track, as long as you have the proper tools. One of those things is, of course, a flat tire. Okay, this particular pick cart here, which is going to attach to the Quick Jack, is going to house a full-size Bandolero tire. And then I also have a number of different segments up here that are divided up for areas for the impact gun, flashlight, some wrenches and some sockets, and some screwdrivers and things like that. So the idea is that this particular cart is going to not only be used for just in case Lincoln cuts a tire out on the racetrack, but this particular thing is also going to be used for basically a tech cart. So we'll wheel this over to watch the race, and then if he ends up in tech, we don't have to keep running back and forth to the trailer to get the necessary tools. They should all be within here, and I don't have to run all over the place. And I'm trying to make things obviously as convenient as possible at the racetrack, which is what we all enjoy. I also probably at some point I'm going to put a large bar on the side of it, be able to store that, because you can always bend bumpers back with a long enough lever if they need to come off the track quick. But this is what we're going to build. Hopefully it turns out great. Okay, we got all our pieces cut. Everything's ready to go. We have our runners and our hinges and all sorts of fun stuff. Got all the joinery cut, all the screw pockets done, and now we're going to start putting this thing together, and we're going to see how this comes to life. Well, I got it glued together, and you can see kind of from the inside I had to cut a little bit of a relief area here because I made it slightly too small, so I had my CNC to router this out for the impact gun. But everything has been cut, cut up, and we have some dados here for some removable dividers. I tapped in some screw holes for some handles that I'm going to be making here, and I also got the front cut up. And I'm not real completely happy with, some of the, it looks a little messy, unfortunately. I did this with a jigsaw, but I'd probably, if I had to do it again, I'd probably do this with my CNC to try and make this a little neater, but that is neither here nor there, maybe for another version of this in the future. All right, so this is the bottom of the actual box itself. You can see here I got recesses cut out for some extremely strong neodymium magnets. You can see how strong they are. These things are absolutely ridiculous. Just to show you how this works here, I'll just see. Look at that. That is absolutely insane. So that's how strong these magnets are. But 6 of them on the bottom, and these 6 magnets are going to line up with this central post right in here, and that's what's going to keep the thing stuck to the actual thing when you're tugging it around and things like that. So you can easily yank it off with the handles, but that's what we're going to actually work on now. We got to put some runners alongside the actual magnets that basically grip that central bar coming on through, and then we'll be clipping onto the front where the quick jack would clip onto the bumper of the Bando. So we'll see how this works. All right, the bottom slats have been installed. Okay, and like I said, the center post should actually fit directly down the middle here. It's all centered, and I got my extremely powerful magnets on there. I put these particular runners on the outside here because if I ever want to take this off and set this on the ground, then it'll sit flat on the ground rather than kind of like tipping from side to side. So let's see what it looks like on top of it. All right, you can see right now I got it actually mounted directly to the quick jack itself. You can see the actual parts, running directly through the case itself here. It just clips directly onto the part where the Bandolero would normally click onto the bumper, or the Legend, or whatever. The inside still has to be put in place and everything like that. But right now it's attached, and just to show you how stable it is, I'll shake this thing around. I mean, this is like a wagon darn near. So this is going to be significantly easier just to go ahead and walk around, taking this over to tech, rather than going ahead and going back and getting specific tools and forgetting what you needed and all that stuff. So let's put the inside in and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so here's what it looks like with all the slats and everything in there. These will all be, obviously going ahead and be screwed in. I don't think I'm going to glue these in because I want to leave it open for potential options in the future, where I might want to redesign some of the different spacings and things like that. So I think I'll just screw them in for the most part. Back here is going to sit the tire. This will be open, and then I'm going to actually make some kind of like some cabinet front doors for these that'll lock, so that all of the things won't necessarily fall out on the backside here. So I'm going to go ahead and take this thing back apart. We'll get this thing painted up, and we'll maybe put a few little final touches on it, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so the pit cart is now, of course, complete. It's exactly what I wanted. It's very strong, very stable. It turned out better than I even expected, but you can see it's on there, and it's not coming off. The only noise that's being made is the handles that I attached to it. I gave it a quick coat of paint, added some numbers to it. I got our doors on here. Now, on the inside, like I said, everything has been custom built for exactly what I want on the inside here. Everything I need for tech, everything I need, to change a tire, on the go, because we have the cart. Got the impact gun, got a flashlight, got a set of wrenches, got our socket set, even got an extra little space up front here for any sort of other things that we could possibly need. Now, like I said, it's on there really tight, and one of the things I might actually modify to make this slightly better is I might actually loosen the fit a little bit, because it is on there pretty tight. And I actually think I might even take some of the magnets off of the bottom of it, because I just think the magnets are holding it so tight to this thing. I could lift the entire quick jack up just by the magnets itself. But to take the thing off, you basically put a foot back here, because if you don't, you'll lift the whole quick jack up, and then you just grab the handle and you lift it off, and then you have everything that you need. Okay, so pretty super happy about this and how this turned out. It's possible that somebody can improve upon this idea, which would be really nice to actually go ahead and see how everything goes on that whole thing.
Yeah.
So other than that, it turned out great. Really happy with it. It'd be nice to go ahead and see if there's somebody else that might be able to improve upon the idea. There's, I'm sure, other ways to customize the inside of this. You can obviously do this for a legend car as well. But other than that, maybe we'll start a trend here with the Quick-Jack pit boxes here, and we'll see what we might be the first. Maybe somebody else has already done this. But either way, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.